This is Greg Troutwine with Maritime Reporter TV. We're here today with Matt Hyder, the CEO of Nautilus Labs. And Matt, first and foremost, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Greg. Pleasure to be here in the office too, right up the street from us. So it's fun to be here and actually see the team in person.
So, Matt, obviously the Nautilus Labs name is new to a lot of people. Why don't you just give us a brief on the company today?
Sure. And yeah, we definitely are a newer name here in the city. I think what's really true about Nautilus Labs is all of us come from legacy technology companies that have a long track record in building great software. So I myself come from IBM. Our CTO comes from Google. Our team comes from companies like Microsoft and eBay and Amazon. So we're taking best practices from the software industry and applying them to problems in maritime that really haven't been solved with software before.
Can you give us a little background on when and where the company was started?
Absolutely. So we're formed about 2.5 years ago here in New York. We're based in the city, so our office is up in Midtown, right by Grand Central Station. Yep. To answer your question more specifically, we came together about 2.5 years ago to try and solve this challenge around data collection analysis of the industry. What you see in maritime is that there is $100 billion worth of fuel consumed every year. That dollar amount's going up a lot in 2020 due to regulation. That consumption is not just, including wasteful sometimes spend of fuel by ships and crews and shoreside teams. It includes a lot of greenhouse gas emissions that have a big impact on us all. And so what we're really rallied around as a company, what we were trying to do as an organization, and what we help our clients with is reducing overall fuel consumption, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and making ocean shipping more sustainable.
Let's assume that I am a ship owner. If I'm coming to you and we're talking, what is the product that you're selling?
Really at the core of the product that we're selling is decision support. So what we see is every day, shoreside teams and crews are making decisions about how to operate vessels, how to price vessels in the market, how to instruct voyages, and oftentimes they're relying on instinct, intuition, and maybe a spreadsheet to make those decisions. So what we built is a cloud-based application, a lot like, say, like LinkedIn or Microsoft or Salesforce, that any user globally can go in at any point in any day, wherever they are, on any device, to make the decisions that they need to improve profitability for their company.
Okay. So is it fair to say is it a subscription service?
Absolutely. Just like Salesforce, LinkedIn, Microsoft products nowadays, it's a subscription-based service. And the benefit for that for our clients is really it helps to hold us accountable. What we've heard from so many companies in the industry is they'll be sold software, a vendor will put it on-prem, and then they'll walk away and say, go figure it out for yourself. The fact that we're subscription-based makes sure that we're accountable to our clients every day to deliver value and show that the product that we've sold them is actually doing what we said it would.
I would assume that your solution is custom-made for each of the clients that you engage. But can you give a general cost for the system?
Just to clarify to the first part of the question. Our platform is actually a generalized solution that's deployed now across every major segment in shipping. So we have clients who have gas carriers, tankers, dry bulk, liner ships. They all use the same platform functionality that we've built into Nautilus platform. We take client feedback very seriously. We work really closely with our clients to understand their needs. If there are specific things they want in a platform, say if they burn LNG as a fuel type instead of HFO, we can help them with that challenge and we can customize that part of the platform to meet their needs. But overall, it's a generalized solution. That said, depending on the makeup of the fleet, the type of integrations process, the specific requirements of the features they want, that has a big impact on the end pricing for a client.
Okay, awesome. So when you look at the number of installations that you have today, can you give me a little size and shape to how many vessels are out there that have your solution on it?
So we have over 10 clients signed to the Nautilus platform as of today. We've been really fortunate to bring on clients who are really close partners in the US, in Canada, in UK, in Denmark, in Athens, and Singapore. So we have broad global reach, and we have approaching 100 ships signed to the platform as of today.
When you look at the competitive landscape and some of the very large corporate competitors, what do you see and how does the Nautilus Labs solution fit in? What makes you unique?
The great thing about the big industrial players who are in the industry is they build fantastic hardware. They build systems that run for years, needing just planned maintenance. They don't break. They're extremely reliable, and they're very safe for the crews and the ships that use them. So we end up partnering pretty closely with some of those big players to help take the data that's coming from their systems and apply it to the optimizations that we're doing shoreside. So really, I would say our number one objective is to partner with them, whether it's the Kongsbergs or the MANs or the Wartsilas of the world, and help make the data that comes from their core systems more usable. Because at the end of the day, what we are is a software company. So we're building great, intuitive, simple to use software that users really love, and we're applying that to the data that might be coming from a more industrial system.
Okay. We've talked a lot about fuel cost. Obviously, this is the number one cost for operating a vessel, and as we discussed with IMO 2020 coming along, it's not going to get any cheaper by any stretch of the imagination. Can you provide a real-world example?
One example, and it was really early days here at Nautilus, was a vessel was traveling from the Pacific to the Panama Canal. And on the noon report every day, there was a reported average speed and a reported total consumption. This was the very first ship on our platform, mind you. As it was nearing the Panama Canal, the shoreside operator noticed that the speed had actually been running at a higher speed during the day and a lower speed at night, and reporting the average speed. Okay. That, over the course of that week-long period when it was happening, resulted in $10,000 or so of extra fuel consumption based on the fuel price at the time. The operator called the master, was like, hey, why is this happening? Can you walk me through why we're doing this? It turned out there was a really human requirement on board the ship, which was that the superstructure was shaking too much, and the crew and the captain couldn't sleep at night, so he was running at two different speeds. So over the course of that one voyage, you're talking about $10,000 of extra fuel consumed. Okay, maybe that's not a big deal. Over the course of 12 voyages, you're talking about over $100,000 of extra fuel consumed that year. If you think about the way the company would understand the performance of the ship and its speed and consumption profile, and how it would price it in the market, how it would take maintenance actions, how it would determine whether or not to even keep or sell the ship, the effect over a vessel's life, if it's 20 or 25 years, is millions of dollars. And so we automate that insight and help to bring it into the decision-making process for our clients.
When you see in the ship owners that you're dealing with, are you starting to see an acceptance of the types of solutions that you propose?
Yes, and I would tell you it's because owner-operators are very savvy. Maritime is the home of innovation, right? First it was wind power, then it was steam power, then it was combustion engines, then it was digitization back in the 70s. It's really always been a leader in taking new technologies forward and applying them to solve problems. It's the first globalized industry that exists. So the industry appreciates technology when it delivers ROI, when there's clear value, and when it makes sense for the business. So what we've been focused on for the last 2 years, and what we'll always be focused on, is clearly demonstrating the ROI and the value we create, and partnering closely with our clients to demonstrate it.
Obviously, a lot of these conversations about digitalization, about data, information, in tandem with that, you talk about autonomy, autonomous operations. Are you having conversations with some of your clients about autonomous operations? Does your system fit into that quote-unquote mold? Or, I guess more succinctly, when I say autonomous shipping, what does it mean to you?
To me, autonomous shipping means advanced automated decision support powered by artificial intelligence for crews and shoreside teams that are connected 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, operating in lockstep. That's what autonomy is. It's not about unmanned vessels. Those are not going to be a part of ocean shipping in the next decade. It's about providing really advanced, high-level decision support so that the master, the chief engineer, the crew can make the best decision for the company based on market factors, based on the price of fuel, based on the time charter rate of the vessel, based upon the maintenance actions you have to take, where you have to bunker, how your crews have performed historically. All of those matrix of things that factor into fleet optimization need to tie into crew-based and shoreside decision support. What's next for Nautilus Labs is really hyper growth, right? So this year, the plan is to triple the size of the team in our New York office, to hire abroad, first in Northern Europe, then in Southern Europe, then in Asia, and really support the global nature of the business that we're in. As I think out even further, it's really about quantifying and demonstrating to the industry the amount of fuel savings we're able to deliver to our clients. It's critically important for the folks who are already on the platform. It's critically important for the folks who are interested in coming on the platform. And by the end of this year, we want to be the de facto industry standard top choice for fleet optimization. Our core belief is that whether you think scrubbers are a good investment, whether you think fuel markets are going to respond to IMO 2020 in this way or that way, regardless of that, you have to take decisions that are going to reduce your fuel consumption over time, and we can be a big part of that.
You've been very gracious with your time. Thanks very much.
Really awesome to meet you, Greg, and thank you for the time as well.
This is Greg Troutwine with Maritime Reporter TV.